What are some of my favorite memories from my time at the IRS? Hi, I am Juliana and I'm an enrolled agent living in Texas. I have a background at the IRS as well as a master's in taxation. I like to share some of my experiences with the IRS as well as things you might run into either with the IRS yourself or in tax in general. I also like to answer questions, so if anyone has anything that they'd like me to cover or any questions, I would be happy to do so. If any of that interests you, though, then come along for the journey. I had a wonderful time overall when I worked for the IRS. I will openly admit that. I thought it was basically my dream career for parts of it, and I ended up ultimately leaving due to management. And I didn't like how certain things were run anymore. I no longer liked the emphasis on some of the admin instead of the work. I liked the teaching aspect, the interaction with the taxpayers, and less of filling out paperwork in a repetitive fashion. I felt it was more of a waste. So I ended up moving on to try to assist people on the other side. But while I was there, I did have some wonderful times. And I worked in 3 different offices, and I had 6 different managers. When I was a revenue agent, I worked in a different office with a different manager when I was in customer service. So all of that, when I was in customer service, I really don't like phones. I will also openly admit that. But I learned so much, and I had some wonderful people that I worked with. Absolutely adored them. I still keep in contact with a lot of them. I had a great manager, a great lead who is like an assistant to the manager, and that is the person you ask questions to. If you have a difficult call, they can help take over and kind of be your support system. So I made it into a competition. I tried to take as many calls as accurately and quickly as possible during the day. I often took an excessive amount of calls, where some people may take like 30 in one day. I would try to take like 60. So I figured out ways to be efficient, get more people through the phone system. And while there's thousands and thousands of calls a day, it only mattered to a couple people, but at least I could hopefully get these people their answers and get them off the phone. And I greatly enjoyed that. I wanted to make it so they didn't have to call back later. I would try and give them answers and explanations the best I could with my limited information. So I greatly enjoyed that. We would also have contests. There was a peep contest between the groups at Christmas time, where we got to make, like peep dioramas and have a competition. Little morale boosters. It was fun. We got to have time off the phones to do that as well. Other offices, I joked around a lot with managers, other employees. We would go to lunches, and we had softball tournaments between offices. When I got certain cases, I would take them to my manager and ask if I could do certain things that I knew I wouldn't be allowed to do and be shot down. I feel like there is great interaction with most of my management and the employees, and a lot between the employees themselves. In general, I felt in some of my offices that I worked in, I felt there was a lot of respect for each other. And even if there was not respect for certain people or how they did things, people generally liked each other, and they were nice. It was like any other work office, and we would try to have fun. We'd have birthday parties. We would celebrate events for people. We had baby showers. I really enjoyed that. It is just like on the outside, and people do try and have fun. Everyone's human. These are jobs. They go in, they are taught how to do it, and they do what they're supposed to do. And it's not just blindly trying to attack people or harm them or steal their money. We want to all do it correctly and be fair while doing it. So I learned a lot, and I greatly enjoyed that aspect of it.